he didn't. And they say he does. And the only time you have to file as a minister of a church would be, as I understand it, if you're, say, taking government documents on the side. And he never did that. So he was sustained by the church. And the church has a board. The Shire Church has a board. There's not going to be one over here, but it's a decade old. And no one creates any purposes. So it's absurd that they're trying to bring these charges against Ian or Aria for that matter. Aria was only sold crypto for several months, and before the Satanic Temple was actually a fairly church. But
hey, Kevin. Kevin from the internet. How you doing? I will tell you in just a second. She doesn't want to be on film, apparently. Okay.
So this crypto stuff is actually just one small hour.
Good Citizen Media, how are you?
It's been rough. It's been rough, but it is.
So Aria has been sentenced. She's going to be out until her friend's wedding, and then she's going to be incarcerated for 18 months and 1 year probation for taking a plea deal, basically. Hey, how you doing? How you been?
Doing all right, I guess.
Well, I can't expect anyone to be good right now. It's retarded. It's retarded what they're doing.
Definitely be better. Way better.
This is not good news for Ian. Hello, everyone in chat. LV Transparency. So we're just waiting for Aria to come out. Let's listen to Ping.
Who has an ability to comprehend the charges and the evidence that was presented. The evidence all points to Ian's innocence, and certainly Aria's too if it had gone to trial. But again, Aria wasn't convicted by a jury or a judge. She took a plea deal. So
I want to point something out here. You want to leave the country? Yeah, you want to leave the country, go on vacation, and you're carrying more than 10 grand in your pocket, you're required to report it going through customs. You fill out this form. And it doesn't say United States Customs Service. It says Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, when there's no financial crime involved. You're bringing your own money to a foreign country. You're stopping to report it as required by law. There is no financial crime. Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, at the top in boldface on that form, is designed to scare people by treating them like criminals just for bringing their own cash. Well, if cash is so criminal, why do they keep printing so much of it?
So to give you guys a brief of what's actually going on here, Ian Freeman, Aria, and a few others were selling Bitcoin, and never once did the prosecution. By the way, the trial has already ended. This is Aria's sentencing. She did a plea deal. Let me make that clear. But they never presented any evidence that they scammed anybody. Actually, the prosecution even said they didn't scam anybody. But what happened was when they sold Bitcoin, people were being scammed by other people, romance scams, and Ian and everyone else involved was doing the due diligence to make sure that no one was getting scammed. Yet they used. They're saying that they are facilitators in financial crimes, and Aria is not charged with money laundering or anything like that. But it's just a crazy thing, guys. It's so sad that Aria is going to go to jail for 18 months and 1 year probation.
Nikki Haley is going to be in Bedford tomorrow night.
Whereas the government money launders every day to foreign countries. And there's Ian right here, Ian and Bonnie.
You seen Riley? And
I haven't. I don't think they've come out yet. I don't know. I just ran to the car real quick, so I don't know.
Sure, they must have went to, I'll just go with you. They must have went to the back.
People cannot have an without the government getting involved. You have no relationship without the government involvement. The government is involved in every aspect of your life, and now they're throwing my friend in prison for not filling out the right fucking paperwork. That's the bottom line. That's it.
How's the community been? Let me just ask, you know, a lot's been going on this year in particular. How
The Liberty community is here in support. I'm very, very grateful to everybody who came out and packed more than half of the courtroom with Liberty people. I think that we are all very shocked. I think that we're all very upset. I think that this is an illustration and should be a warning to everybody out there that the federal government is not your friend. They are not there to protect you. They are not there to protect the public. And in fact, they made that very clear. Not only did they impose a sentence of prison time, but then they also imposed a fine on top of that. So they're raping her for more money than they already confiscated. Captain Kickass.
so what can I throw this on you and just ask?
Sure.
The Reverend Captain Kickass.
Kind of update. And then I'll just throw this here. I'll close that up.
Yeah.
And then,
Maybe somewhere around there.
well, it says a recap. Can you just tell us what's happening today? Why everyone's here?
Well, we're here to support Aria in her sentencing today. She took a plea deal for something I believe that she didn't do anything wrong, even though she pled guilty to one of the financial crimes here. And she didn't victimize anybody. There's no victim here. There's no damages. I believe that they were doing their due diligence to prevent these scams from happening. And yeah, it's sad. It's sad. I feel like the state has continued to victimize people because the government doesn't like competition, and they don't want people competing with them on these financial scales. It's sad. It's sad that we're seeing this today, and I'm happy to see all these people supporting her today. But I don't know, Joseph LaPlante. He doesn't. I don't think he fully understands what he's doing, and I think the prosecution, they know what they're doing. They're just trying to abuse more American people. They're not going after the scammers. They're not going after the people that actually cause damages, and it's very unfortunate.
Is it nice to see everyone turn out, like you were saying?
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? I haven't been around the community in a while. How's everyone feeling? And obviously this, and then Ian.
This is extremely disappointing that she's going to have to be incarcerated. She doesn't deserve it. I don't know why they think this is justified to punish people like this, to steal their money further. They're scamming us. They're scamming the world. And Aria has never scammed anybody. She has never hurt anybody. And it's sad to put peaceful people in jail. Prison. Yep, you're welcome. Thank you guys for covering all of it. Yeah, appreciate it. Guys, they filmed the docu-series about the Free State Project, and they also showcased my arrest when Don Bulldog assaulted me. They were there on scene too, which was amazing. So they captured some interesting stuff. Actually, one thing that they captured that I'm going to use in my defense if I ever go to trial is that I could hear clearly the the head of security at St. Anselm say you were on the property, as in I was already on the property. They trespassed me. I left the property, and then they continued to charge me with trespass afterwards, which doesn't make any sense. Now we're waiting for Aria to get out here.
What's your name?
Joseph and Ralph.
And guys, if you want to know more about this story, go to thecrypto6.com. And we also have our friend here in the middle with this beautiful rig. He's doing a documentary about the Crypto 6, and you can look that up. It's called The Ballad of the Crypto 6. And it's a really good trailer out there, like a preview. We're just waiting for Ari to come out now.
And during the time of their arrest, there wasn't really a whole lot of knowledge, and the government didn't adequately tell them that they were running a money service business. They found out through an email that looked like a spam email, and then after that, having federal agents raid their living.
Yeah, note that, guys, is that Ian's home in the Free Talk Live studios was raided by the feds. We're talking several SWAT teams. They smashed in windows. They literally sent in a drone into the house. Armed thugs came in. They destroyed the cameras. It's disgusting. Just abusing free people, peaceful people, and that's what they're doing. They've done here. Continue to do today with the sentencing. We have a lot of people here supporting Aria. We're gonna wait for Aria to get out. Let's see. Security in there. They're violating the Fourth Amendment right by forcing ID to get into the building.
There are people who actually hurt people who are serving way less time. Aria has not hurt anybody.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question for you, if you mind asking. Do you think KYC has any effect on scamming?
Scammers will always find some sort of way. The best that an operator can do is like block phone numbers, for example.
Hi, Aria.
How do you feel, Aria?
Scammers.
Good?
I'm alive.
Yep. I mean, I know they've sentenced you, but they're looking to make it more comfortable for you when you go in there now. Are you okay with that? Or
Comfort's relative, right?
Yeah.
No one wants to be in a condition. We're going to be in a cage, at least have nice sheets, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry this happened to you today.
I actually don't have problems with this. It makes me so angry. All of these pockets are fake.
The Fed pockets.
What?
Fed pockets.
So I want to thank everyone for coming out, all of you. It really means a lot to me. Turning around and seeing the place just packed with people, freaking amazing. And you guys are amazing, and you know, we're all significantly stronger with all of you at our backs, and that matters. In moments like this, that absolutely matters. Nothing matters more.
Do you have any hopes for the appeal?
I'm not appealing it. I want this over with. We don't really have a good basis for the appeal, as the judge pointed out during the hearing there. There was no procedural error, and we disagree with the severity of the sentence. Well, that's obvious. Every defendant's going to disagree with the severity of the sentence. So there's no real legal basis to appeal, and it's just a waste of time. It's not going to delay the sentencing. By the time I was finished serving, we'd probably be getting the appeal done. I want this over with, man. That's the reason we had the opportunity to delay this hearing today, so that my attorney would have time to go through the court transcripts and review what was said at trial. And like, no, I'm not putting this off. I've been having this hanging over my head for more than 2 years. I'm ready to be done with it. Now, for better or worse, today was the last shoe for it. And even though I didn't get what I wanted, obviously, even though I'm going to end up going to prison for 18 months, that other shoe has now dropped. All the cards have been played at this point. All the hands have been played. There's nothing left now but to let the axe fall.
Aria, even though we're here today, can you talk about what it has been like leading up to this? What you've been feeling inside and what people around you?
Well, everyone around me has been incredibly supportive. But it sucks, right? It sucks having these sort of democracies. It's like I crammed my ass. That's the most fit analogy I can think of. That's what it's like having this weight perpetually on your shoulders. And even though, again, it sucks. I don't want to go to prison, but an enormous weight lifted off of me the moment he didn't bang a gavel, but metaphorically, when he banged the gavel and made his decision, the weight lifted from my shoulders because it's no longer hanging over me. I don't have to wait on the other penny to drop or the other shoe to fall or whatever the hell the expression is. It's done. And now I can move forward with the rest of my life.
Did you expect to get this sentencing?
I'm sorry?
Did you expect to get this sentencing?
Over 2 months.
I came in without expectations. Obviously, I was hoping for something different, and in an ideal world, I would have a better sway to get what I wanted. But I mean, obviously, I was hoping for home confinement or time served in supervised release. No one wants to go to prison again. Obviously, I didn't want the prosecutors to give the 37 months they were asking for. And the judge came down somewhere in the middle and made the decision that I thought was best. Sorry?
Sorry, can you talk about your decision to speak today and what you said to them?
Yeah. To an extent. I said most everything there that I wanted to say, except I sort of got a bit off track, and I wish I hadn't pointed out. I said a lot of it was a result of arrogance to law. I stand by that. I think that's absolutely the case. The only thing I regret saying is that I said that the point of the law is to prevent the money laundering and wire fraud and all of that stuff. That's the whole point of it. I didn't call attention to it in there, but the law doesn't achieve those goals. But that's undeniably the point of those laws, right? So I sort of let that hang, and I was glad that I didn't point out that the law, like having a license, having a license would have achieved it. No, right? It doesn't stop old ladies from wiring money to some romance scam or to, and the license doesn't prevent Visa from selling prepaid debit cards and using scams. So the licensing doesn't actually work. But as I said, that's the reason given for the licensing. And that was the only part that I really wish I had been wrong. It seems like kind of irrelevant, and it made me sound like I supported the idea behind licensing, and even now, I see the reason for it. And I was certainly susceptible, as I said, my libertarian positions, I assumed that people provided we shared my libertarian beliefs. That was where the mistakes happened, because they were the victims of scams or fraud. Some of them were the victims of scams. And I assumed, I would recommend any of my elderly family members, if they still associate with me, to acquire cryptocurrency or gold or silver to protect themselves from the hegemony of the dynasty. Obviously, they don't talk to me, so I can't recommend that. But when an old person comes up to me wanting to buy gold or silver, like now, of course, I don't do it. But back then, I thought it was just them making a good decision, right? That's just them protecting themselves against the inflation. And I can't blame these people after I've watched so many elderly people lose their homes to the housing crisis or to the medical bills that millions of dollars in medical bills because of this corrupt medical industrial complex. I've seen all of this happening. I can't blame anyone for trying to protect themselves.
That's why they go back and forth.
playing both sides of. I had not taken anything else to these guys. It's very hard. It's like,
going for your
I want to
after.
know.
Then I need to get out of here
And that's all
without
about the
crying.
common sense thing. You know there's other stuff going on.
Pretty much that. When I turned around and saw other people crying, I was like, yeah, we gotta go.
Being
I gotta go.
victimized by somebody.
By the same person that victimized me.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for standing up for our freedoms.
Thanks for coming.
Is there anything else you want to say? Anything that you feel like maybe you didn't say before, or anything you want to say before? There's no way to know.
No, I've said
There's
it.
no way to quantify that.
I'm happy to have.
Do you feel like you said that there's sort of this weight that's been lifted? Do you feel like that anxiety is going to turn into something else? Knowing
Well, yeah, I mean, now it's going to be a different anxiety, right? Sure, now I know what the sentence is, but now I've got to wait for the sentence to end, and then I have to wait on the sentence to end while I'm going sentence. So, I mean, it's not like it's actually the end, right? There's just other shit that I have to look forward to. Like, now I have to look forward to June the 27th and being incarcerated. Then I have to look forward to being incarcerated for 18 months. And look forward to being on supervised release for a year. And then at that point, yeah, sure, I can finally get on with my life. But I mean, no. And when I say the weight is lifted off, sure, in some way, and that's absolutely true, but that's because it's been replaced by other weights now.
are you going to go to court?
My dad.
It looks like I'm allowed to. So, well, I'm not exactly sure what the dates of the Pork Fest are. I know I have to go to the Shiva as we discussed in there, but I'm not sure exactly what the Viking Festival dates are. But it looks like I will still be free. That would be, it would be good to go there, but you know, there's a lot you have to deal with before you are uprooted from your life for 18 months. So like going to a festival with a bunch of, you know, libertarians is not high on the priority versus making sure, you know, has a place to go and things like that. So, you know, if all of that's taken care of, sure, I'll go to the Porcupine Freedom Festival, but like, that's not, I don't care about the Porcupine Freedom Festival right now. How could I?
It's not a first priority.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I mean, if I'm free to go and I have
I was
everything
going to come and
taken
start,
care of,
but then that was taking too long. So then I had the opportunity.
I'm not going, oh boy, I get to go to Pork Fest. Right?
Yeah, that would be a kind of a crazy thing to be thinking about. You get 18 months to worry about, not a 2-week event.
I guess you could be excited in a couple of years for that Pork Fest.
I'll be excited to have all of this finally behind me.
Yes.
Again, I don't know why we're fixating on Pork Fest.
No, I know. Yeah, it's all
I'll just be
right.
happy to have this behind me.
Yeah, it's one event a year.
Well, thank
And today
you.
we are one step closer to having it behind me, and that, if nothing else, feels good. And there's plenty to be happy about today.
It's, I look at it as one step closer to freedom. You got to have these fights. I don't know if we necessarily need 6 people arrested, but certainly people standing up and fighting is important. And it brings attention to the cause, it brings attention to the problems, and we wouldn't get that if it wasn't for people standing up. So, thank you.
Absolutely.
Can you mention that? You said there's plenty to be happy about. Kind of go into that a little bit.
I mean, it's a beautiful day. It's a warm day. The weather's fantastic.
I just saw the third week.
There's plenty to be happy about. Right? Sure, I have this miserable thing to do. I keep using the phrase look forward to sarcastically, but I get to go home today, and I get to play with friends, and I get to listen to music. I get to drive my car home today. There's plenty to be happy about. I get to organize my life for the next 18 months to make sure that everything's taken care of. A lot of people don't get that opportunity.
Apart from what you said in court, do you have any other regrets?
We all have regrets, right?
Sorry.
That's all I have to say on that. We all have regrets, right?
Life was full.
All right.
For a group photo?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody want to do a group photo with Aria on the steps?
Heck yeah.
Who doesn't like to be in pictures wants to take the photo? If there's somebody who really doesn't like to be in pictures, I mean, you don't mind being in pictures.
No, I don't mind.
Is there anybody here who doesn't like to be in pictures? Anybody in particular? I'll take it.
You do it?
Oh, nice. The Keen Sentinel is going to take the picture.
Why don't we come down onto the steps
Yeah,
and
let's go
gather
down
everybody
there.
together, Aria, up front?
So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, fuck the SEC.
I like it.
Okay.
Anybody else want to come in?
Well, it's the FBI, right?
How are you still taller than me and I'm short? Me? Yes. I was like, you're behind the scenes.
Ready? 1, 2, fuck the SEC.
Yeah, you know me.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
Fuck the SEC.
I can't hear you.
I think I got that. Check. No.
I mean, fuck the SEC too, but it was the FBI.
FBI. Fuck the FBI.
Them too. Right.
Fuck the government.
I can't do all 400. I don't have all day.
You're welcome, Aria.
Make her eat. Yes, if you guys take her, make her eat something, please. It'll end up on the side of the road later, but at least let her get an egg start. I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, but there's no waiting. We know the situation now, so.
Want to go down to the side?
Right, but there's, you know what it is, yeah. So.
Guys, we're all just still standing here.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
There's like 5 of these like kind of large
The good
steps.
news is going to be helpful for
That, my question was.
Yeah,
I-
85%, right?
But in New Hampshire,
Yes, I go on city.
okay, so that doesn't, okay, that was my.
Closer to 15.
All right, that's still, that's less than 18 years.
Some of that should be in a halfway house, so probably closer to 12.
The supervisor, at least you've already got 25 months in your
Yeah,
first
you know,
contract.
yeah.
That's another 12, right? Like.
Plus, they'll be supervised for the rest of their life. We're all being supervised. No, they listen to you 3 hours a night.
We're all being supervised.
You've been under monitoring for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I think we can handle yeah.
And they know every cigarette she smoked before she quit.
They were following me, for Christ's sake. I mean, every one of us was probably being followed. We just didn't pick up on it.
Thank you, I'm really glad that this part is over for you. I don't know, but somehow I was going to be an Annie sandwich in the middle, and I didn't know. So at least you get 2 weddings too. So. All right, let's get away from the city government. No offense.
Anywhere you want to eat in particular?
No offense to the most.
Red Arrow?
Okay, there we go.
Because the judge is
Ian. Can I? Oh, he's interviewing me.
I think they're going somewhere.
And then up here, down here, up there, one, yeah, this one, and then what's going on? About why it's a huge turnout.
We're here today for Aria Sentenced's sentencing hearing, and there's a huge turnout because Aria is an amazing person who has a ton of good people in her life who support her. There was a huge chunk of her coworkers here from her job at Domino's, and a bunch of the Freedom family here from the Free State Project and Libertarians that are here in New Hampshire to show support. As for whatever that can have an effect on a judge, and my lawyer says it can have an effect. So hopefully the people that were here in her corner helped the sentence get reduced down from what it could have been, which could have been 37 months. It only ended up being 18, which isn't great, but it's not,
Do you have any, anything that happened inside kind of pique your interest? Or they're showing those videos, and at some point I couldn't tell if they were helping the government or if it was helping her case.
The videos they love to take out of context as much as they possibly can. I do agree with you. There was one clip that I didn't think was particularly harmful to her and might actually have been helpful in the right, seen in the right light. I don't really know if the judge really considered any of that stuff. Honestly, it seems like he wanted to do this general deterrence concept of, well, we've got to let the people know that not money laundering. We got to let the people know that money transmission is a serious crime. and as though everyone who's selling Bitcoin is paying attention to this case, as though anybody who's going to go on in the next 6 months and decide to sell Bitcoin is even aware of this case. Aria's case has gotten limited coverage, with the exception of NBC Boston. You guys have done a great job. There's been a little bit of local coverage, but this by no means has been a national level story. So it's not like the average Bitcoin seller is going to have any idea what happened. So the whole idea that this is some sort of insurance, I think, is pretty ridiculous. While we were doing the Bitcoin thing, we knew that there were other people who were being arrested and charged for stuff like this. And my viewpoint on it was that we were doing something legal, that this wasn't illegal, that they're misinterpreting the statutes. The money transmission statute is decades old. I mean, the SEC statutes that they're going after other crypto companies for right now is almost 100 years old. So what you have is the federal government is trying to shoehorn Bitcoin into all these old statutes that have absolutely nothing to do with Bitcoin. No one had any idea what Bitcoin was going to be when these things were written. And on top of that, you've got different governing agencies that disagree with what Bitcoin is. The Securities and Exchange Commission says that cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, now they exclude Bitcoin from this, but that most cryptocurrencies they say are securities. The Commodities and Futures Trading Commission says that most cryptocurrencies they've identified so far are commodities. The IRS has said that cryptocurrency is property. So like some of these bureaucracies are on the side of, oh, well, this is property, it should be treated like property. Others are saying, oh no, it's security, which is a financial thing. The FBI says, oh no, it's money, and so it's subject to the money transmission statute. So how can it be all of those things at once? It can't. But that's where we're at today, where there is nothing specific to crypto, so they're just bringing as many enforcement actions in as many different ways as possible to intimidate people, to stop people from using cryptocurrency, to put this sort of pallor of fear over the entire community. And it's worked. There's a lot of people that are leaving the country as far as businesses are concerned. They're just like, all right, that's it. This isn't worth doing. We're out. And then a lot of people in the crypto community are way more cautious about how they buy or sell cryptocurrency. It used to be a lot of open offers of, hey, I need to buy some Bitcoin. Somebody else steps up and says, yeah, sure, I'll buy some Bitcoin. I don't see that happening as often these days. So I think
I'm going to be buying some Bitcoin today, $1,000 worth. So
you're an exception.
I rarely buy Bitcoin, but I do take it in my business and I do sell it. Or not sell it, I spend it.
That was a long, rambling answer.
Does it feel like there's a little bit of a battle and some wars being waged on the front lines of crypto, what it means to use government currency, non-government currency?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like the federal government is desperate. They want to do everything they can to intimidate the people in the cryptocurrency industry, and to some extent it's working. Hopefully it won't work forever. I don't think that in the long term this is something that they really can win. Maybe the politicians will come up with some actual rules, and maybe that will result in some appeals and some of these things that are happening being kicked out. In my case, I did go to trial. That means I can appeal what has happened to me, and obviously what happened in here today doesn't bode well for the sentencing that I'll be facing in a few months. But I've been allowed to be out on pending the appeal so far. And he could change his mind on that at the sentencing, but hopefully I'll continue to be out. Scenario is the judge tosses out some charges from the trial because he still hasn't ruled on that motion. So there's still a lot of sort of balls in the air in the Crypto 6 case. This is by no means over and done with. Aria has to say that she's responsible for the thing that she's admitted to doing. But in my opinion, Bitcoin isn't money by the government's definition of what is money. And even if it were to be considered funds, as it has been by the judges in multiple cases, it's never transmitted. And by definition, I explained this when I was on the stand in trial. When Bitcoin is sent somewhere, it doesn't actually go. It doesn't actually go from one person to another, and it doesn't go from one location to another, which is what the money transmission statute requires. It just doesn't do it. From a technical standpoint, it never moves anywhere. It stays on the very same blockchain. It doesn't even move on the ledger that is the blockchain. So how they can make the argument that it does is just out of pure ignorance and the jury agreed with them out of pure ignorance.
You hit on it a little bit. Can you give us a little timeline just for storytelling purposes? What you had, where you are today, and what you have coming up?
Yeah. Time to look at the sentencing guidelines and figure out what went wrong with this report from the probation department. So he says they screwed up. So we got to figure out what happened. He's got to object to it. So that's got to get settled out before the sentencing can actually go forward. So that's been delayed until July 17th. It was actually delayed until June 29th, and then got delayed again for some of the matters. That's the latest on my case. 10 a.m.
Ian, may I ask how you feel about her sentencing today and what it means for you?
It's unfortunate, obviously. I mean, I don't think that any crimes with no victim should result in people going behind bars. And so I was disappointed to see the sentence, not particularly surprised, given that the government was pushing for the maximum 37 months in this particular case. From that perspective, I'm glad that it wasn't the maximum, and he did do the variance below that. Obviously that does not bode well for my case.
Right, your position, yeah.
With 8 felony counts, including money laundering, which he did say in the hearing today that had she been facing money laundering, it might have been a much more severe sentence. So even though we know the truth is that there was never any kind of money laundering going on, that there was not even a shred of evidence. Even though we know the truth that there was not even a shred of evidence that money laundering was going on, as far as we knew, that we weren't working with these scammers or whatever, never presented a shred of evidence of that in the trial, they still got the jury to agree to convict me of it. And it just seemed to be based on the idea that, one, that because people are old means they can't possibly be interested in buying Bitcoin. We should have never, sold to them, even though they lied to us and said they were just investing. They all had a story to tell. Unfortunately, it turns out that they were just doing it based on what the scammers wanted. And then the other thing was with the money laundering, they're alleging that the scammers. So there was one point that. Sorry, lost my track.
It's all right.
No, that was a whole other aspect. So the money laundering accounts, there was 2. There was one with the undercover agent, which I never sold to him when he said he was a heroin dealer, but yet they convicted me of that too.
That's crazy.
Yeah, even though you're supposed to actually conduct or attempt to conduct a transaction to be found guilty of that crime, which I didn't do, they still found me guilty. And then the other one was that we were money laundering for scam artists online. Now, again, they never showed a shred of evidence that we had any kind of agreement with these people. The other thing that they said was, oh, well, Ian Freeman and Aria, they say they respect privacy. Well, if you are advertising that you respect people's privacy, they say that means that you want criminals to come and buy from you. So they're suggesting that privacy is a criminal element, that privacy is something that only criminals want.
Like showing ID here.
And that is absolutely ridiculous.
Like when you go into this court.
And one way you can prove that that's ridiculous is to look right here in New Hampshire, where in 2018, the people of New Hampshire voted for a constitutional amendment to enshrine the right to privacy in the New Hampshire Constitution. Overwhelmingly, it was voted by the people of New Hampshire. I think it was like 80-something% of the people who voted on that voted to enshrine the right to privacy. So I don't buy the claim that privacy is a crime and that the only people that are interested in privacy are criminals, but the jury bought it, apparently, because they found me guilty of that.
How many people don't want stall doors on public facilities, right? When I go to the bathroom, I like to close the door behind me. Does that make me a criminal? Or does that make the restaurant owner a criminal when the heroin dealer or the heroin addict shoots up in the bathroom and dies?
No, we need to see you take a shit, okay? The feds want to see everything in our life, so
yeah, I mean, that's what they used to tar and feather us with, was the idea that we respected people's privacy was somehow proof that we had a conspiracy with online scammers. And nothing could be further from the truth. I mean, and the whole idea that, and it also contradicts the other things that they say. So they say two things at the same time. They say two contradictory things. One is, oh, well, Ian and Aria supported privacy, therefore they're attracting criminals. But on the other hand, we asked people what their name was, we asked for their identification, we had them jump through all these hoops showing us who they were. So, like, how can both of those things be true at the same time?
Now, would you want to see these scammers prosecuted, and would you take action against them legally?
I would be fine to see scammers prosecuted. We don't know where the scammers are located.
Right.
It may be difficult.
I know where they are.
Well, yeah, these guys. But
I think it was them.
It may be difficult if they were located in, Nigeria or India or something like
Sure.
that to prosecute. But what we know is from from my trial, we know the FBI had no interest in actually finding out who the scam artists were. We know from Patrick Brown, who was one of the scam victims, who, by the way, lied to me, and we had a lengthy conversation on the phone before I sold him Bitcoin the first time, and he told me that he had bought Bitcoin before, and that he was buying Bitcoin for the purposes of investment. And I asked him, "Are you under duress?" Turns out later on he was under duress because he thought he was talking to a federal agent on the phone that was threatening him. Turns out it was a scam artist. So I asked him if he was under duress. He told me he was not under duress. I asked if there's a third party involved in the transaction. He told me no, there's no third party involved. He's doing this for himself. So I sold him some Bitcoin. What we learned on the stand when he was testifying that I did not know at the time was that Patrick Brown had already sent $900,000 of his own money somewhere else before he came and bought Bitcoin from me. And the FBI never asked him about the $900,000. So he sent almost $300,000 to my church-related accounts to buy Bitcoin from me and my friends.
I'm not gonna.
It shows the
Why
feds.
weren't they interested in the other
Yeah, it shows the feds'
$900,000?
priorities, doesn't it?
Patrick Brown testified under oath that the FBI never asked him one question about the other $900,000. Why is that? It's because they didn't care. It's because they weren't concerned about Patrick Brown. Patrick Brown was just a tool. Just like all the other poor victims in this case, they used those people to get us. That's what they did with those people. They never asked Patrick about the $900,000. They never asked Carlosino about the other money that she sent to other places. They never asked her about her scam artist that she talked to for 5 or 6 years prior to talking to me about buying Bitcoin. So the whole idea that they care about elderly people being taken advantage of is completely contradicted by the facts in this case.
What about the FBI agent? Just like she never bought a scam.
Yeah, 20-something years of scam cases, she never found a single scam. So I mean, it's obviously bullshit from top to bottom, and this has been a political prosecution from day one. And they got the flood that they were looking for.
Is Phil Christiana that targeting
Phil Christiana is the FBI agent who started targeting Free State Project participants as far back as 2005. So before,
2005.
Since before I even knew that he was targeting activists and teams, inquiring about them, investigating, and doing things. And then
That's long before invented.
Oh yeah, they've had it out for us
It's
for
not. It's not.
very long
It's not even a
time.
crypto case. It's a political.
This is absolutely.
Absolutely.
I like how the judge, his facial expressions were just of deep thought.
So the mic on, I wonder if it just captured you. Yeah, we'll go in a second. I just need to say something real quick. Oh, okay. Yeah, it should be unlocked.
It's really
Hey, I had a question for you.
Am I live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
And I'm gonna call you out.
You're gonna call me out.
What? Wait.
Oh no.
Did you guys have the docuseries at St. Anselm just so I couldn't see it?
Wait, what?
I'm trespassing St. Anselm.
Oh my god, I forgot that you can't go there. No, obviously that was not why.
Oh man.
Oh my god. I
Huh.
forgot you can't go back there.
Yeah, I can't go there.
We were saying that the last time we were there was when you were arrested, though.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for a trial date.
Oh really?
They're pathetic. And once I find out the trial date, then I'll be able to subpoena. So I think that's what they're trying to prevent. And yeah, so we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, let us know.
I'm gonna file a motion to dismiss. I haven't done it yet. We got the paper, but it's gonna be interesting. I'll let you know. I think I got you on Twitter or something. Yeah. Well, see you later, guys. Thank you for coming.
And there was actually I didn't count either, so there's probably another couple of people there too.
Yeah, there were a couple.
Hey guys, take care. Ian, be safe. They're still watching. Take care, guys. All right, guys, that's it. Yeah, I just went to this federal building here, and I've been here since the trial began, the hearings before, and Aria's sentencing and arraignments and all that. And it's very unfortunate that Aria is the one with the red hair, if you noticed. She started the Reformed Satanic Church, and it's reformed because they got rid of the taxation part. And look it up. You're probably like, I don't like follow the church per se, but you know, you can't even disagree with what the rules are of the church, because it just makes sense actually. But not that I'm a Satanist. But anyways, all right, guys, let me let you go. Stateness. AVR works. Yeah, Aria didn't hurt anyone. Not paying taxes is heroic. All right, guys, peace out. Thank you all for joining. Have a good one.